It's the 2KMC, here to show what's going down in the neighborhood.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Up next, the 2K Sports pregame show. There is no better way to start. And now a chance to take a look at some numbers for Doncic.
And it's a nice month he's having. Something's got him motivated. He's become a much bigger contributor offensively. He's settled into the kind of groove that every player wants to get in.
So the opening lineup for the Heat, Fred VanVleet out there with Carter. Then it's Marcus Morris, and it's Nikola Jokic, and it's Bagley in at the power forward position. And for Toronto, we've got Doncic, Mitchell Robinson out there with Dwight Powell. Then it's Terrence Ross, and it's DiVincenzo in at shooting guard. About this time of the year, we hear early talk about end-of-the-season awards. When you're thinking about who you'd vote for MVP or whatever, Doris, when do you start giving consideration to those topics?
You know what's fascinating, Kevin, is where all the major awards are considered, particularly the MVP. It feels like there's a narrative that develops back when the season starts. The key as a voter, I think, is to sort of eliminate the noise, look at the numbers, consider the success of teams, and make your decision from there. You've got to make sure you're really doing your research.
And sometimes, am I right, it comes down to the final couple days of the regular season before a voter like yourself knows for sure.
Kev, I have cast my MVP ballot on the last possible day in each of the last 3 years.
Wow. Now here's VanVleet. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Memphis.
And it wasn't only his scoring, the intensity on defense. He nabbed 3 steals that night.
Here's DiVincenzo, following the basket by Jokic. The pass to Doncic. 6 to shoot. Toronto needs to get off a shot. Ross for 3. And again, no good by Toronto.
And when you are as good a shooter as he is, you have the confidence. You have to have the confidence to take that shot. It might not always fall.
And for most guys, I think you only want to take that shot if you hit a few in a row. That is absolutely a heat check.
And the ability to stretch the floor from the power forward spot, Doris, becoming almost a requirement. That's worked out well for Marcus Morris.
Boy, when he comes into the league, Kevin, 2011, he was viewed as that classic tweener. That at one point was a negative level. The game has now shifted his direction because of his versatility.
Now, here's Jokic. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Memphis.
And one of the big ways he came through was at the foul line. They couldn't contain him. He was equally effective at scoring baskets as well as getting to the line.
And Ross with the slam.
Well, the flashback to Ross's rookie year when he won the dunk contest. Give him a chance, and you're guaranteed to see something flashy.
Now, here is Morris. He had a 27-point outing in their last game against Memphis over Ross, and he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
And hitting the mid-range jumper here early gives the defense just another thing to think about.
They're basically saying you're going to have to guard us at every point on the floor tonight if you're going to have any chance.
And Doncic gets it to go.
Boy, what body control from the Slovenian forward. Doncic comfortable taking on all challengers.
Three-pointer. VanVleet with the bucket. VanVleet's got 5 now.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
It's Robinson, top of the key. Passes it to DiVincenzo. Now, here's Doncic. Shot from 16. Off the left rim and out.
Well, he's a quality mid-range shooter, but he can't get that one to go.
The shot and game clock separated by 4. Pass to VanVleet. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
I'll tell you, right now, these guys cannot be stopped.
Boy, it looks like their confidence is at an all-time high, just feeding off each other right now.
And he lobs it up toward the rim.
You know, there's an unselfishness to Luka Doncic, and a pretty pass right there.
And so it's the Miami Heat heading to the bench. Nikola Jokic, a former second-round pick, turns.
Basketball, like passion.
In basketball, Greg, a big deal in Jokic's native land of Serbia.
And I love his creativity. There's an artistry and a freedom in how he plays the game.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from Miami, guys.
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Boy, it's been a really pretty thing to watch, executing their game plan to perfection.
Mitchell Robinson out there with Dwight Powell. Then there's Doncic. Then it's Terrence Ross. And it's DiVincenzo in at the two-guard spot. That's the group for Toronto to start the second quarter.
And he should thank the D for those 2 points. Nobody paid much attention to him on that play.
And it's Miami with the rebound. This, their first look at this year's Toronto squad. Undrafted out of Wichita State, Fred VanVleet, never the most heralded player, Doris. But you know, he says he bet on himself. And it's worked.
No doubt. Van Vliet's belief in himself gets him a 2-year, $18 million contract. But I think beyond that, this man, in the moments that mattered most in the playoffs, proved that Fred VanVleet will deliver.
Now, here's Doncic. Against Indiana, he was really on his game. Here's Ross. The shot off that time. Good defense by Jokic. And so VanVleet will bring it up for the Miami Heat. 7-point differential. They come into this one following the loss to the Grizzlies.
Total embarrassment. I was shocked at how poorly they played. I think they were shocked.
Well, frankly, Greg, they should be shocked. I mean, that kind of effort simply won't cut it in today's NBA. Let's see if they take any lessons from it.
Unwilling to let up, even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score. You lock in on the moment and play the right way.
Now here is Carter. 1:52 left in the first half of basketball. And good that time. Bagley's got his first bucket of the night.
Yeah, just great instincts there in the pick and roll. Like how fierce Bagley cuts after setting the pick.
Here's Doncic. Bagley with the block. And they're able to recover. The Heat leading by 10. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. VanVleet can't get it to go. For Toronto, they've gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Morris against Ross. Here's Doncic. Kicks it to Ross. Just 5 on the clock. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Ross has got it back down to single digits for Toronto.
Well, this guy's going to find his way to get the ball in the bucket. Contact or not, Terrence Ross can flat score the basketball.
Here's Morris. And no good that time. Now Toronto takes it the other way. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
And they really got after it from a defensive standpoint throughout that entire game. The turnovers they forced really tell the story.
There has to be a willingness to take chances, jumping for steals, getting out in passing lanes, and all of that worked in their favor.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Toronto trails by 10. Doncic outside. Pass to Powell. Ross against Morris. Ross, that's good.
I'll tell you, you can't put your head down after a tough first quarter. You've got to keep fighting, and now he's starting to roll.
Van Vliet looking around. The fader. And yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. 6 points for Jokic. And so it's Miami with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greeting. Miami did not hesitate to set the pace. They launched into a 6-0. And that'll...
Welcome back. The calendar has flipped over, and so have we, into the second half of our broadcast. Toronto shooting at a decent 44% clip here. And only 6 feet tall in shoes, Fred Van Vliet's not the biggest, but his toughness, his toughness, mentally and physically, is unquestioned.
And Kevin, growing up in Rockford, Illinois, gave him that perspective. Friends and family gone too soon. Basketball was the path to something better.
Here's who Eric Spoelstra is starting the second half with. Marcus Morris is out there with Marvin Bagley. And it's Nikola Jokic. Then it's Fred Van Vliet. And it's Carter in at the 2 guard. Clock at 6. Here's Doncic. The three-pointer is right on target. Doncic has got 5.
Hard to find any weakness in Doncic's offensive game. Boy, when this three-point shot is dropping, look out.
Here's Morris. Here's Bagley. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. Bagley's got his second basket of the game. And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. And the pass to Doncic. Shoots over Van Vliet and misses it off the right side of the rim.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Luka Doncic. That'll be his second foul of the game. Here's Van Vliet, and he's good on the 3-ball. Van Vliet's got the lead up to 12 now for Miami. Doris, great scoring is often reliant upon great footwork. And we hear coaches, don't we, talk about that all the time?
We really do, Kev. You look at a guy like Kyrie Irving, who at the point guard position is one of the great scorers. He's a clutch shooter. He doesn't go to the free throw line a lot, and it's because he's so elusive. Can finish left and right, puts a lot of English on his shots. DeMar DeRozan gets separation with incredible footwork, and maybe the best in the league right now in terms of his footwork. That tap dancing James Harden, which is just nearly impossible to check.
I love those names, and you're so right. And it's fun to watch. What a skill. Now here's Ross following the miss by Jokic. Lets it go from 14. That's it, and the Miami lead is cut down to just 10 points on the bucket from Ross.
When the mid-range is working for Terrence Ross, he's going to create problems. It's just a matter of can he do it consistently, Kev?
Morris, no good. And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for Toronto. And following this one, they'll take on the Hornets in New Orleans. And that one will start off a 3-game road trip for the team. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Here's DiVincenzo. Jokic defending. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. Morris outside. Here's Van Vliet. No good that time. And Toronto will come the other way. DiVincenzo passes to Ross. Here's DiVincenzo. 43 seconds left in the third. Bagley with the block.
and a skilled shot blocker to boot. Love how Bagley uses that height and reach to stifle shooters. Boy, that's a backbreaker. Takes it right into the rim and extends their lead.
You want to make sure your opponent knows they have absolutely zero chance of a comeback, and nice finish by him.
Here's Doncic following the basket by Marcus Morris. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks.
Well, put all that size to good use. Rip it off the backboard.
Misses from close range.
Well, this is the kind of shot we've come to expect him to make. He's got to be upset with that one.
And so it's the Miami Heat up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. And how about a look now at our assist of the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
And when you're the beneficiary of a pass that good, you better deliver. And he did just that.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. They've got Terrence Ross. Powell is out there with Robinson. Then there's Luka Doncic. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 2 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. And Toronto has possession following the score by Miami. Lets it go with a 3. And Doncic gets it to go.
Boy, Luka Doncic excels in the 2-man game. You handle the rock with perfection. Nicely done, young sir.
Now here is Carter. And another basket for Miami.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Here's DiVincenzo. Here's Doncic. Off target from 3-point range.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change. When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
Greg, to me, this has simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Morris kicks to Van Vliet. Outside, Bagley. Back to Van Vliet. Shot clock at 5. Shoots over Doncic. Van Vliet can't get it to go. Toronto trails by 15. Over in the corner, Doncic. Pass to DiVincenzo. Back to Doncic. Ross on the wing. Doncic trying to get open. And again, no good by Toronto. Miami leading by 15. Carter outside. Back to Van Vliet. Some solid defense from Robinson.
I'll tell you, most of the time this guy's going to finish that, but that was tremendous defense that prohibits him from completing the play.
And he just elevates and powers in the one-hander.
Textbook. Here's Van Vliet after Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. Doncic with the steal. And now the fast break. Doncic with the ball. Ross with a wide open look. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic.
You have to know when to simply catch and shoot, and it serves Terrence Ross very well that time.
Now Van Vliet. Robinson with the block. Down low, here's Doncic, and the lead is down inside single digits.
Luka Doncic is in distinguished company because his game is so far advanced for his age.
And the Heat call time here. They're up by 8. 58 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And with his game closing in on the final buzzer, let's take a look at our Jordan player of the game.
And he's had a very good night shooting the basketball. A little over 50% from the field. And a lot of those shots have come against some tight D. That shows the level of his focus and consistency.
And at last, he gets a little redemption. You know, it's been several games since he's been at his best. He's really been having a tough time. Good work there as it goes.
Well, you get exactly what you want right there. Clean look, right at the cup. Nicely done.
And they go to the intentional foul. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for Miami. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Morris inside. Guarded by Robinson. Rejected by Robinson.
They've got to take the first good shot they can find.
And they've got to be efficient with the clock. Quick score, quick foul.
And here's Miami. 6-point lead and an intentional foul right there. He hits the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So it gets them both, and it's an 8-point game. Toronto calls timeout. They're down by 8. 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And here's Hill for 3. Offensive rebound. Pass to Craig. It's Hill on the wing. Takes the 3. Again missing Hill. And so it's Miami winning this one. A solid win on the road for them. This building was